It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan. Tonight, the New York Knicks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks able to win the opening tip, and we're underway here at Madison Square Garden. Last year, Jay, Knicks with 29 victories, but that was with Porzingis going down in February. We'll have to see when the big fella, if he comes back this year.
Well, he'll come back. He's been doing some things on the boat in the offseason that a lot of people have made fun of. But I think Coach Fizdale will get this team back on track. And what he was able to do towards the end of the season by taking Frank Ntilikina and Emmanuel Mudiay to a playoff game to let them show the toughness it takes to get to the next level will be instrumental. That reach was just about a second off. He got his hand in there a little bit quicker. That would have been a steal.
Just enough imbalance. First one goes down. And he hits the second. Hits all three free throws. Cavaliers with the basketball. Curling inside. George Hill. Good start. He's made his first shot.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
Burke with it. His team up by one. To Cantor. And he's going to the free throw line.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
And his Cantor at the line. And hits the first free throw. And gets both to drop at the line. Ball in possession of Cleveland. Probing the defense. To Korver. Down to 5 on the 24. Smith to Korver. From long range. Can't do much better than that. Kyle Korver misses the shot. Burke with it. Up by 3. To Cantor. Knocked loose. Cavs come away with it. Hill into the front court. He'll run the offense. Runner here won't go down. Jay, last few drafts, the Knicks have gone younger. What do you like about Kevin Knox and his raw potential?
His upside. He just turned 19 on August 11th of this past summer, and what he did in Summer League blew my mind. Was first team All-NBA Summer League, averaged 24 points, shooting 47% from the field. This kid has every chance to be a star.
Has a look. It's no good. Defender did just enough to force the tough shot.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
And his Cantor pins it. That's his first of the game.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Short jumper off the mark. Cleveland has the basketball to J.R. Smith. Nothing going here on that drive to George Hill. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Missed it. Not much more you can ask for from the defense there. Burke with it. Leads 3. to Cantor. Scores from the post.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Hill across the timeline. Looking to make something happen.
2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Smith to Hill. Short jumper off the mark. New York Knicks basketball. To Hardaway. New York with 4 to shoot. Has a chance and scores on the step back.
That was a tough shot. The guy was in your pocket. He even contested the shot. Everything was going according to plan until then.
Now the Cavs going to signal for timeout as they'll talk things over here in the first quarter. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor.
Entering the game for the Knicks, number 20.
Sexton. And the denial.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Thompson on a pass stolen by the Knicks. The possession lies with New York.
Remaining in the first quarter.
Hardaway. Trying to cash in. He's looking for that touch.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
To Hardaway. And it's Cantor. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
That's a good run right here to end the first quarter to open up that lead. If you're the coach of this team, you have to like the effort your guys are giving.
Fires the 3. Good when he's open and when he's not. So dangerous.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. It's good. At the buzzer. He got it out well before the red light came on. And that extends the lead at the end of the first quarter. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Cavs at the controls. Nothing going here on that drive. Shot from the lane won't go. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Jay, the Knicks searched long and hard for their next head coach. They chose David Fizdale. Why was this the right choice?
Well, first off, he's a two-time NBA champion as assistant coach with D-Wade and LeBron James from Miami Heat. And I got some time to spend with him down in Miami at D-Wade's fantasy camp. He is hard and very stern, but it comes from a brotherly place. His ability to build the right culture in New York will be imperative, but it all starts with that kind of teaching.
Moutier with it up top. We're a minute into the second quarter. To Kevin Knox. Cantor, deep right corner. And it's Cantor. Oh, the defense has to adjust. He's 4 for 4 to start this one.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to lead the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
To Rodney Hood. Hill to Rodney Hood. For 3. Second effort. Nice touch around the basket with the tip. Moutier into the front court. Up 6.
Come on, you gotta work around the screen. You feeling me?
To Kevin Knox. Knicks with 4 to shoot. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Hill into the front court. Now down 6. To Love. To Rodney Hood. Cavs with 4 to shoot. Hood to Colin Sexton for 3, and he'll head to the line.
You never really want to foul a shooter, but if you do, ensure they're going to have a tough time converting. That's good knowledge of personnel.
First one, count it. Second and 3, no good. Burke with it. Leads 4.
I got ball. That's me.
Has a look. And he hits.
Okay, I saw a little bit of a handle there, but let's see if that confidence is still there down the stretch.
Now a whistle, and Cleveland is going to use a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor. George Hill to Corver. Can't connect from in close. Knicks with the basketball. Tanilikina. Yes, for every tough shot you make, buy one, get one free.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Hill to Love. Kevin Love, 2 of 4 now.
Everybody in the building, including myself, thought that pass was going somewhere else. Fool me once? Okay, but you're definitely not fooling me twice.
Screen coming. Going to launch beyond the arc. Off the mark. No good. Hill across the timeline. Down 6 to Rodney Hood. scores and the foul. Kevin Love does it all. And now a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Kevin Love at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 82%. Free throw good. A three-point play as they move in front here just before the break. New York in control of the basketball. To Hardaway. Surveys the floor. Hardaway to Cantor. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Enes Kanter trying to cash in on a three-point play. Hasn't missed yet. Free throw good as he completes the three-point play. The lead is up to 6. Cavaliers with the basketball. George Hill to Korver. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. Add 2 points to the board. No time left. The Knicks have the lead.
Guys, let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The Knicks are up after 2 quarters, and these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. Have a look at the leading scorers for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers were unable to find an offensive flow in the opening half. They don't have a single player that can claim double figures in scoring. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Field goals.
The Cleveland Cavaliers just couldn't get any of their shots to go in those first 2 quarters. They desperately need someone to step up and catch fire for them in the second half. Most of their bricks were laid in the opening quarter.
Player of the half.
Enes Kanter has the defense figured out, and his shots are falling for him. That's a lethal combination that will be hard to overcome.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here we go with the top 3 plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
Ball in possession of Cleveland. Hill to Corver. Kevin Love. He's now 4 for 6.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
Ntilikina. Nothing going here on that drive. To Ntilikina. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Can't connect. Not the best shot with the defender right there. Smith with the basketball. His guys trail now by 4. Here comes the screen. Oh, great defense there, forcing the pickup. The Knicks clear the board. Burke with it. Looking to make something happen. To Cantor. Fires the 3. Defense taking a page from Ntilikina. Missed the 3. Corver to George Hill. Around the perimeter. Love. It's no good. Shots not going down. Burke with it. They lead it. 4-point game.
Hey, you got the screen right, screen right, screen right.
The screen sets him up for 2.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
George Hill. They'll get it down to Thompson. Gets it in the right corner. Smith to Hill. Down to 5 on the 24. George Hill. He's 3 for 7.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Let's see what the Knicks can do here.
I got ball.
To Cantor. Short jumper won't fall.
And you thought you would have seen him bounce back in the second half. Just looked like he could never get himself into the flow of the game. I put a little bit out on the coaching staff, too. Maybe they could call some better plays for him to get him in situations where he could see the ball go in.
Corver to George Hill. Over to the right side. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. You need a brick wall to defend this guy. One of the best in the game, Kyle Korver.
Today's league just throws that old school stuff out of the window. Why have 2s when you can shoot 3s? Even on fast breaks, guys spread out towards the 3-point line instead of laying the ball easy at the rim.
Hill into the front court. His guys now down by a point. To Love. Smith. Inside, he scores.
And ball movement is one of those great things. One of the things you learn early in this game is that if everybody gets involved, then everyone has a chance to win.
To Cantor. Off the assist.
You know, sometimes it takes a little while to figure things out. Towards the end of the 17-18 season, Trey Burke finally looked like the guy who was drafted 9th overall. In fact, he looked even better, hungrier than I've ever seen him before. He even braided his hair to resemble his idol, Allen Iverson. I'd keep an eye out and see what he can do in this one.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor.
Substitutions, New York.
He cruises in for two. Too easy.
Absolute stud. Just flexing on them on both the defensive and offensive end. I don't know if we should call him the young bull anymore. He's maturing right in front of our eyes.
To Moutier. Screen coming. The jumper's off the mark. Hood. Deep right corner. Look out, Larry Nance Jr. Neither side is giving up an inch.
I guarantee you tomorrow on Complex's social feed, that play will have millions of views. And I'm really looking forward to this fourth quarter because the first three have lived up to the billing.
Alonzo Trier to Moutier.
Big pick right there.
Deep left corner.
Shot up.
Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Sexton loves the challenge. Flex those muscles. Hit the three. Deep three at the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. The Cavaliers with the lead. The Knicks to inbound here to start the fourth quarter. They trail to this point, but you'd have to say this one's up for grabs.
And the new style we play with in this league, all it takes is 3 quick threes, and you're right back in the ballgame.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at three coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball, but sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Enes Kanter at the line for a chance at a three-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. Free throw is good to cap off the three-point play. And the lead is down to 3. Cleveland has the basketball. Hill to Rodney Hood. Lets it fly from long range, and it's good.
And they're relentless with these long shots. It just seems like their spacing is perfect, and they come down, they know exactly where they want to be, and they're shooting the ball without hesitation.
Moutier to Hardaway. To Moutier. Screen coming. Doesn't get the bounce. Hood to Korver. Shot from the lane won't go. Moutier with it up top. The deficit is 6. To Ntilikina. From the painted area, won't go down. Hill across the timeline. He'll run the offense. Nance to Rodney Hood. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Here's a chance from long range and knocks it down. Jay, for the defender, tough to gamble once the ball's behind the arc.
You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And guess what? They're living large right now.
Ntilikina to Moutier. Ntilikina to Moutier. Has a chance. Shot by Moutier, no good.
We call some of these players practice players. You know, the guys that make 5 out of 10 shots in practice, but then all of a sudden they're not gamers because then they're making 1 of 10. That's exactly what you want him to do. You want him to take those kind of shots.
Now the coach of the Knicks going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over here in this fourth quarter. New blood coming in for both sides. To Hardaway. Trying to cash in. Berg shot off the mark. Smith now into the front court. The lead is 11. Korver to Hill.
Don't let him split. Don't let him split.
George Hill. He's 4 for 8. That's 50%.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
I got ball. I got ball.
To Hardaway. Shot clock winding down. Now pass taken away by Cleveland.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Add 2 points to the board.
There's something that is so impressive about what we saw this evening. Not just the shot-making ability, but the fact that not every shot came from the pocket. There were some bad passes being made, and the shots came from different places around the body, which aren't usual for the typical shot. That shot-making ability, that's something special to watch.
Hardaway. Here comes the screen. Just not going down. Cavs at the controls. To Korver.
Defense, let's go.
He was all over him. Missed the shot. No free throws. Has a look. Can't connect. Hill into the front court. His guys up by 15. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Hill shot, no good. Oh, big finish at the rim.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Now the Cavs gonna signal for timeout. High fives all around. This game is well in hand in the final minute.
Section 21 and ratio men. Don't miss your chance at some excellent memory meal.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
Number 13, Tristan Thompson. Into the game for the Knicks. Number 20.
The Cavs are victorious as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
is Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Cavaliers got the win with a comfortable scoring margin. And some people may disagree, but I think their ball movement was the biggest key to their victory. Still, I think we'd all agree that they made the defense look slow and confused throughout this matchup. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks just couldn't get within striking distance toward the end of the game. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the New York Knicks.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
The Cleveland Cavaliers were definitely the better team with regard to long-range shooting, and it turned out to be quite the advantage. Their three-pointers were unstoppable.
Player of the game.
And while you can't track leadership on a stat sheet, it was by far the most impressive thing he did in this game.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.
And the New York Knicks control the tap. To Hardaway. Here comes the screen. Hardaway. Beyond the arc for 3. Can't get the bounce. Cavaliers with the basketball. George Hill to Love. And it's Thomas who comes away with the rebound. To Ntilikina. Screen coming. Ntilikina. To Cantor. 5 on the shot clock. Trey Burke buries it on the catch and shoot.
Okay, I see you throwing the ball like a quarterback in the pocket for the touchdown.
Hill across the timeline. Down 3 to Love. Here comes the screen. Love. Hill to Love. From long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Tough make through traffic.
I was expecting the dish there, but way to fake that one and lay that one in.
Ball in possession of Cleveland. George Hill to J.R. Smith. Here comes the screen. Hill to Love. 5 to shoot. Fires the three. You need a brick wall to defend this guy. One of the best in the game, Kyle Korver.
Look, that shot was going up regardless of what the defender was trying to do. That's called a heat check.
To Hardaway. Shot clock winding down. Knocks down a tough shot. That was smothering defense.
That boy's living his best life.
Hill into the front court. Down 4. To J.R. Smith. George Hill. 5 seconds to shoot. To Love. 4-3. He was all over him.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Here comes the screen. Hardaway to Ntilikina. Has a chance. Wide open look, won't go.
Woo, I'm telling you right now, he will not get a better look than that right there the rest of the night.
Hill, down low Thompson. Short jumper stays out. Burke with it. They lead it. 4-point game. Here comes the screen. To Ntilikina. Trey Burke. He had all day and all night to knock that one down. Need to hear more chatter on the defensive end.
There's only so many times you can hide from the truth. That was horrific defense. Just got to get it back on the next possession.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Sexton. Won't go down.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
Screen coming. Moutier. To Alonzo Trier. Almost. And he's not getting the call.
You see, this is something that everybody has, but some people choose to use it or not. I'm glad you choose to use effort on getting around those screens.
Moutier into the front court. Shot clock turned off as they get a chance to build their lead. Screen coming. Larry Nance Jr.
Oh, he just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Yeah, they're lucky they get the ball back.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Deep 3 at the buzzer. We're through one here at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks on top. Jay and I back with more after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. Second quarter is set to start. Neither team set the tone to start this one. Jay, do you expect that to change?
Yeah, both teams have came out. They played with great energy, and they've also done an excellent job of establishing their own tempo. They have to make sure they have to push through that and do more of that in the second quarter.
George Hill to Rodney Hood.
Stay coming.
5 to shoot for Cleveland. Trying to cash in. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Moutier with it up top. Leads 4. To Cantor. For 3. That's off the side of the rim. Short. And it's Cantor. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
Sometimes you hear people give all these fancy breakdowns, tell you all these different things they can do. That was just plain old simple bully basketball. Muscled his way through the lane.
Hill. To Rodney Hood. Going to launch beyond the arc. It's Cantor with the board. Possession lies with New York. Kevin Knox. Probing the defense. Here comes the screen. To Moutier. Fires the three. Moutier can't get that one to go. Defense was all over him. To George Hill. Not that time. To Cantor. Kicks it around the perimeter. Kevin Knox to Moutier. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Another chance. And it's Cantor. He's 2 for 2 now. Now a whistle. And Cleveland is going to use a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter.
Consider the lecture box for your next group event. Availability is limited, so you must act now. Visit our team website for more details.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor.
Substitutions, Cleveland.
George Hill to Corver. From the painted area, won't go down. Last year, KNICKS with 29 victories, but that was with Porzingis going down in February. We'll have to see when the big fella, if he comes back this year.
Well, he'll come back. He's been doing some things on the boat in the offseason that a lot of people have made fun of. But I think Coach Fizdale will get this team back on track. And what he was able to do towards the end of the season by taking Frank Ntilikina and Emmanuel Mudiay to a playoff game to let them show the toughness it takes to get to the next level will be instrumental.
Hardaway.
2 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
To Ntilikina. Lets it fly from long range. Defense taking a page from Ntilikina. Missed the three. Into the front court comes Smith. They find themselves down 10. To Love. Knocked loose. Knicks have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
To Ntilikina. Here comes the screen. Hardaway gets it in the right corner. To Hardaway. Has a look. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
I could see the beads of sweat forming when he had to put the ball on the ground there. You still got it, though.
Now the Cavs gonna signal for timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Looks like both teams are making substitutions.
Number 13, Tristan Thompson. Entering the game.
Hill to Corver.
Number 42, Lance Thomas.
has a chance. Hill can't connect. Burke with it. Up a dozen. Hardaway. Tanilikina. Nilikina slams it down.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Cleveland has the basketball. George Hill to Love. Rocking the rim. Jay, you know the deal. Keep the touches coming inside.
As long as that defense continues to give you high percentage shots, you better take that every time.
Burke with it. His guys can hold for the final shot. And it's Cantor. 3 for 3 in this first half. Desperation shot here from half court. The quarter comes to an end. The Knicks are way out in front.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jalen Rose, and this is your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Knicks didn't hold back in that opening half, and they've been showing off some excellent shooting, and it's ultimately points that win games. So if they can keep this up, there's a great chance they can finish with a victory. These are the guys getting buckets for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers have yet to appear after one half of basketball. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. These are the guys getting buckets for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Field goals.
As you can see in the highlights, this team did a terrible job of adjusting to the flow of the game. They're also lacking effort in their execution.
Player of the half.
Enes Kanter did a great job of reading the defense and exploiting the opportunities where he can make the most damage. He's definitely feeling it.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in that first half. Here are the top plays from the opening half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
Hill across the timeline. Trailing by 14. Short jumper misses. Deep right corner. Jay, last few drafts, the Knicks have gone younger. What do you like about Kevin Knox and his raw potential?
His upside. He just turned 19 on August 11th of this past summer, and what he did in Summer League blew my mind. Was first team All-NBA Summer League, averaged 24 points, shooting 47% from the field. This kid has every chance to be a star.
Hill to Love. Here's a chance from long range. Can't do much better than that. Kyle Korver misses the shot.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Kina. Down to 5 on the 24. Trying to cash in. Hand in his face. Still hits. You don't see that very often.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
Smith to Hill. Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
One can make the case he might be glad he didn't get the and one.
New York Knicks basketball. To Hardaway. Nothing going here on that drive. To Hardaway. New York with 4 to shoot. Trey Burke. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Smith into the front court. 14-point deficit. Shot from the lane won't go.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Korver to Love. Now ready with a couple of free throws.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Kevin Love at the line. Can't connect on the first free throw. Knocks down the second after missing the first. The possession lies with New York. Moutier. To Alonzo Trier. Inside, he scores.
The passing has been great, but the movement without the ball has been even better. Seeing a play before it happens is a skill set a lot of people don't talk about. But a great pass combined with great movement, good luck with that.
George Hill to J.R. Smith. To George Hill. Cavs with 4 to shoot. Hill. Love. Now that's a contest.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Here comes the screen. To Moutier. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Beyond the arc for 3. That's off the side of the rim, short. Hill into the front court. Counting down toward a minute to play in this third quarter. To Rodney Hood. To Love. Has a look. Off the mark. With defense like that, little margin for error. Knicks with the basketball. Moutier. Takes stock of the floor. To Alonzo Trier. Here comes the screen. Alonzo Trier. From long range. Good contest. No dice for Trier. Smith with it up top. Down by 15. Off the assist.
Ed, did you see what this pass just did? Now it encourages his teammates to move with more sense of urgency because they understand that next time down the court, they might be on the receiving end of that pass.
Third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter on the way, with the Knicks enjoying a sizable lead. The Knicks to inbound here to start the fourth quarter. And this one, Jay, not totally in the win column yet. But with a double-digit lead, you have to like their chances.
I love when I start seeing fans exit the arena so early in this game, and I hear people say, this one should be in the bag. Well, guess what? It's never a guarantee. You have to be careful not to slow down the pace of the game and take the air out of the basketball. You have to put your foot on the gas and try to win this game with a sense of urgency.
New York in control of the basketball. Moutier to Kevin Knox.
Screen right, screen right, screen right.
To Moutier. Goes to the left side. 24-second violation. Sexton to Korver. Count it.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Moutier into the front court. It's a 9-point lead to Kevin Knox. To Moutier. Here comes the screen. Wide open look, won't go.
Oh, I like that. You got the defense rotating from side to side. They're even recovering late, but still you got to make that one.
To Love. Hood. To Colin Sexton. Five to shoot for Cleveland. Fires the three. That's good D. Shot no good.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Now whistle, and Cleveland is going to use a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter.
Here's an announcement for the parents in the crowd. Have you considered enrolling your son or daughter in one of our summer basketball camps? Space is limited, so you must act soon. Visit our team website for more details.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now.
Stepping in for Cleveland, number 3, George Hill.
George Hill to Korver. Knocked loose. Knicks come away with it. Ntilikina with the basketball. The advantage is 13 points. To Kevin Knox. Has a chance. It's good. Not necessarily his comfort zone. They dared him. He scores.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Hill. Look out, Larry Nance Jr.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Let's see what the Knicks can do here. To Ntilikina. Larry Nance Jr. sends it away.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Smith with the basketball. The deficit now up to 13. Won't go. He has to find better opportunities. Burke with it. He'll run the offense. To Cantor. From the painted area, won't go down.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like the mere presence of him in the paint was enough to throw off the concentration of the guy trying to drop the layup in.
Now ready for a couple of free throws.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
Kyle Korver at the line. Knocks down the first.
Stepping in for the Cavaliers, number 13.
And he makes them both. Sacrificing everything for the loose ball. That's out. Last touch by Tristan Thompson. Tanilikina. To Cantor. Had a good look there, but it's no good.
What happened is he didn't balance himself off the defender. He didn't initiate contact. He allowed the contact to initiate him. We could break that down later in the broadcast, but that's why he missed that easy chipping.
Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for two.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes two of us.
Tanilikina. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Tanilikina with a shot, no good. Deep 3 at the buzzer. It's a victory for the Knicks as they take care of business at home. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
The EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Knicks added a win with today's solid victory. And what more could you say about their excellent field goal percentage? These guys couldn't miss even if they tried. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers didn't get the victory they wanted here today. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Rebounds.
The Cleveland Cavaliers struggled for position throughout the whole game when shots went up and gave up too many rebounds.
Player of the game.
Enes Kanter gets the award for the most obvious reason, and that's his scoring output. He couldn't be stopped, and it was incredible to watch.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.
It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From Quicken Loans Arena, tonight the Cleveland Cavaliers getting set to match up with the New York Knicks. Won by the New York Knicks. Last year, Jay, Knicks with 29 victories, but that was with Porzingis going down in February. We'll have to see when the big fella, if he comes back this year.
Well, he'll come back. He's been doing some things on the boat in the offseason that a lot of people have made fun of. But I think Coach Fizdale will get this team back on track. And what he was able to do towards the end of the season by taking Frank Ntilikina and Emmanuel Mudiay to a playoff game to let them show the toughness it takes to get to the next level will be instrumental.
George Hill to J.R. Smith. Hill to Love. Shot from in close, no good.
That's how you do it. You stay in his pocket and you never give him any space at all. You make him smell you every single possession.
Screen coming. Hardaway. Tough shot and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul.
You know, sometimes it takes a little while to figure things out. Towards the end of the 17-18 season, Trey Burke finally looked like the guy who was drafted 9th overall. In fact, he looked even better, hungrier than I've ever seen him before. He even braided his hair to resemble his idol, Allen Iverson. I'd keep an eye out and see what he can do in this one.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Good start. He's made his first shot.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Cavaliers with the basketball. The Knicks secure the rebound. Burke with it. They lead it. 4-point game. With a drop step. Can't connect.
And a lot of times in this league, teams take days off. But if this defense keeps maintaining that style of pace defensively, this is going to be a dogfight.
George Hill to J.R. Smith. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Can't connect. It's no good. Jay, the Knicks searched long and hard for their next head coach. They chose David Fizdale. Why was this the right choice?
Well, first off, he's a two-time NBA champion as assistant coach with D. Wade and LeBron James from Miami Heat. And I got some time to spend with him down in Miami at D. Wade's fantasy camp. He is hard and very stern,
but it comes from a brotherly place. His ability to build the right culture in New York will be imperative, but it all starts with that kind of teaching.
Into the front court comes Smith, trailing by 4. Hill. His first effort off the mark. Has a chance. Tim Hardaway Jr., 2 for 2. That's what you want.
Ed, I'm telling you right now, that is the move of an assassin.
Ball in possession of Cleveland. Hill to Korver. Knocked loose. Knicks have it. Ntilikina into the front court. Up 6. To Cantor. Trying to cash in. He's looking for that touch.
You know, as a shooter, you recognize that was good defense, but that's more on you than it is the defense. Challenge yourself to get the ball back and continue to be aggressive.
Smith to Love. Lets it fly from long range. Not that time. He missed it.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Hill into the front court. Exactly a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Inside, he scores.
I know it can be demoralizing for a team not to see the ball go in the bucket, but now that the nightmare has stopped, it's time to pick up the energy.
Now a whistle, and we'll get a timeout for the Knicks as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. We have both squads set to make some moves right now.
Stepping in for the Cavaliers, number 1, Rodney Hood.
Moutier. The screen sets him up for 2.
That's a good run right here to end the first quarter to open up that lead. If you're the coach of this team, you have to like the effort your guys are giving.
George Hill to Rodney Hood.
You got the screen right, screen right, screen right.
Hill to Rodney Hood. Has a look. Wide open look, won't go. Lance Thomas at the line. Oops, he missed the first one. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. No time left in this quarter. The Knicks have the lead. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Cleveland has the basketball. Sexton. Oh, mistake there as the pass stolen by the Knicks.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Sexton. To Rodney Hood. Down to 5 on the 24. Hood shot, no good. Jay, last few drafts, the Knicks have gone younger. What do you like about Kevin Knox and his raw potential?
His upside. He just turned 19 on August 11th of this past summer, and what he did in Summer League blew my mind. Was first team All-NBA Summer League, averaged 24 points, shooting 47% from the field. This kid has every chance to be a star.
That's out. Last touch by Tristan Thompson. It'll stay New York basketball. Changes coming from both sides right now. Hardaway. Short jumper stays out. Tim Hardaway Jr. 3 for 3 in this first half.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Korver. Can't connect from in close.
And you hate to say this, but this is the reality of the matter. Sometimes it takes guys a little while to warm up into the game. Seems like they finally found their rhythm in the second quarter.
Easy path to the rim.
And see, this is simple. This is where the PG pulls the bigs over to the side and says, we can't allow that to happen. You need to be an enforcer down low.
Now the Cavs gonna signal for timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. George Hill to Rodney Hood. Gets a look, can't hit. New York Knicks basketball. To Hardaway. Kevin Knox. Driving right to the basket. Split the D there, but he can't get it to drop. Hill across the timeline. His guys currently down by 13. Burke with it. He'll run the offense. To Ntilikina. Shot from the lane won't go. Hill into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Not that time. Burke with it. His team on top by 13. To Hardaway. Here comes the screen. Ntilikina to Kevin Knox. 24-second violation. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here comes some changes. Hill to Love. Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
New York in control of the basketball. And he finishes at the rim.
Who's controlling the paint? The offense is controlling the paint right now. The defense needs to do a better job of making it more uncomfortable for those easy lays.
Here comes the screen. Lance Thomas with the block. They've recovered it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
To Hardaway. No good, and no foul.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Ntilikina with the basketball. The advantage is 13 points. Has a chance. Ntilikina with a shot, no good. Hill across the timeline. His guys can hold for the final shot. Nice finish at the rim.
The assist from number 0, Kevin.
Long key from three-quarters court. That's it. First half has come to an end, with the Knicks enjoying a sizable lead.
Thanks, Ed. The Knicks didn't hold back in that opening half, and they've been showing off some excellent shooting, and it's ultimately points that win games. So if they can keep this up, there's a great chance they can finish with a victory. These are the guys getting buckets for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers have yet to appear after one half of basketball. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they've got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Field goals.
The Cleveland Cavaliers didn't make the best use of their shots in the first half. If they want to be competitive in this game, they need to find better looks. The shooting was certainly worse in the opening quarter.
Player of the half.
Hardaway has the defense figured out, and his shots are falling for him. That's a lethal combination that will be hard to overcome.
Who was cold?
Hill would have definitely preferred being our player of the half, but he was anything but that. I'm sure he'd like to redeem himself in the second half. But the way things have been going thus far, it's hard to believe it's going to happen for him. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
Cavs at the controls. George Hill to J.R. Smith. Here comes the screen. Smith to Hill. Here's a chance from long range. You need a brick wall to defend this guy. One of the best in the game, Kyle Korver.
As a defender, you should take it personally when a contested 3 goes in. That's good defense, but it's not good enough.
To Hardaway. finish at the rim.
Sometimes you hear people give all these fancy breakdowns, tell you all these different things they can do. That was just plain old simple bully basketball. Muscled his way through the lane.
To J.R. Smith. Not that time.
Wait, I'm sorry. You get paid how much money to miss shots like that? That can't happen.
From the painted area, won't go down. Cavaliers with the basketball. Hill. Down low Thompson. The Knicks clear the board. Burke with it. Lead stands at 10. Here comes the screen. A drive, but he can't get it to go. The follow won't go either. Korver to George Hill. Enes Kanter sends it away. Burke with it. His team leads it by 10. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
Nothing going here on that drive. George Hill to Korver. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Can't do much better than that. Kyle Korver misses the shot.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Ball in possession of Cleveland. Hill to Love. To Hill. Inside, he scores.
Well, you know what the old saying is, when you assume you make a... You know what I'm talking about. You can't fault the D too much there. I was expecting to kick out 3.
Timeout here for the Knicks as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Short jumper off the mark. Smith with it up top. The deficit now up to 12. Hood to Colin Sexton. Fires the 3. Like the toughness, but Colin Sexton off the mark. To Ntilikina. Here comes the screen. Ntilikina. Big finish. Full head of steam that time.
I was expecting the dish there, but way to fake that one and lay that one in.
Cleveland has the basketball. Sexton. To Rodney Hood. Five to shoot for Cleveland. Deep 2 there, won't go. Tanilikina. To Hardaway. No good. Oh, it looked like he may have gotten him there. New York with 4 to shoot. Deep three at the buzzer. That ends the third quarter. The Knicks are way out in front. The Knicks to inbound here to start the fourth quarter. And this one, Jay, not totally in the win column yet, but with a double-digit lead, you have to like their chances.
I love when I start seeing fans exit the arena so early in this game, and I hear people say, this one should be in the bag. Well, guess what? It's never a guarantee. You have to be careful not to slow down the pace of the game and take the air out of the basketball. You have to put your foot on the gas and try to win this game with a sense of urgency.
Here comes the screen. Hood to Love. Kevin Love. Quiet night, but 2 for 3 in the contest right now.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Cantor. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
There you go. Finally, shoot your shot.
Cavs at the controls. George Hill to Rodney Hood. Finish that. Ntilikina into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. To Moutier. Tanilikina for 3. That's off the side of the rim, short. Smith now into the front court. Down a bundle. The pass set it all up.
Ed, did you see what this pass just did? Now it encourages his teammates to move with more sense of urgency because they understand that next time down the court, they might be on the receiving end of that pass.
Tanilikina. To Moutier. Curling inside. The screen sets him up for 2.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes 2 of us.
Now a whistle, and Cleveland is going to use a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Hill to Love. 5 on the shot clock. Hill. That's off the side of the rim, no good.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Nikina. Kevin Knox. Nothing going here on that drive. Bird shot off the mark.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's a player he thinks he is, and we all know he is.
Possession lies with New York. Nikina. Takes stock of the floor. Nikina. To Hardaway. The Cavs secure the rebound. To Korver. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Hardaway. Here comes the screen. Hardaway to Kevin Knox. Down to 5 on the 24. Trying to cash in. Tim Hardaway Jr. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
Oh, don't see the read, be the read.
Now the Cavs gonna signal for timeout as they'll talk things over here in this fourth quarter. The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Knocked loose. Smith to Korver. Cavs with 4 to shoot. 4-3. Kyle Korver at the line. Misses the first. Second of 3, no good. Can't cash in. 0 for 3. The possession lies with New York.
Defense, let's go.
Sizing up the defense. Nikina. Knicks with 4 to shoot. Beyond the arc for 3. Kevin Knox forced that one. Well defended. Cleans it up. Kevin Love. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field. It's a victory for the Knicks as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Knicks won this matchup with a significant margin. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers seemed to give up on this game as it got more challenging. And it's games like this where veteran players can be so important. They've been through these types of blowouts, and they know what it takes to keep a locker room united. Check out the leading scores for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game stats.
The Knicks could not have been more dominant in this game. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers lost this game long before the final buzzer. And every team in this league loses games. You just don't want to lose them like this. I can already see a players-only meeting in their future. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game stats. Player of the game. Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Top plays, and we've got 3 of them for you.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Knicks put their opponents away in a blowout. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Check out the leading scores for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers really lost big in this matchup, and you could tell it was tough on them. Losses like this become main discussion topics in the media. So hopefully this team is ready to answer the tough questions. It's not going to be fun. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game stats. Player of the game. Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Here are the top plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Knicks dominated this game from beginning to end. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers are no longer suffering through what was a big-time blowout. My advice for these guys is not to watch any TV tonight, because it's not going to help them forget about this game. Everyone is going to be talking about this one. Check out the leading scores for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game stats. Player of the game. Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. Here's our top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Knicks were simply amazing in this contest. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers did not look good in this one, and neither did the score. And it's games like this where veteran players can be so important. They've been through these types of blowouts, and they know what it takes to keep a locker room united. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game stats. Player of the game. Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here we go with the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Knicks put on a show in a blowout. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers seemed to lose their edge as the game got out of hand. And every team in this league loses games. You just don't want to lose them like this. I can already see a players-only meeting in their future. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game stats. Player of the game. Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Knicks were merciless in this game. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. Check out the leading scores for the New York Knicks. The Cavaliers seemed to give up on this game as it got more challenging. Losses like this become main discussion topics. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again.